All right, so I'm back at it. I've got another set of injectors. I emailed a company, and I'm not going to get into details on the company and all that, but I think they hit the nail on the head. I don't want to brag too much just yet until I see if they actually work. They went in the bottoms a lot better. They look a lot better. I haven't put the fuel rail on, but they slipped right in, no problem. Now what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of the silicone lubricant for the actual O-rings on top. I'll spray all of them, and then I'll try to slide the fuel rail on, and we'll know in just a minute if these are the right injectors. So let's give it a shot, and I'll get back with you and let you know if they're working. All right, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna throw some power to it, and let's see what we got here. All right, fingers crossed. I will go ahead and say, I think this is the fix. Everything snapped together a lot better than the other stuff. Pretty confident this is the fix here. So there's power. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Keep in mind we had stock fuel injectors, so I'll have to adjust the regulator. I don't even know what that number is, but don't smell any gas. I'll have to fish all the injector plugs. They don't fit. I'll have to get some kind of an adapter. Don't see any gas, don't smell any gas. I think we got her, boys. I think we got her. All right, so we got fuel. Now we gotta get the injectors figured out, the actual connectors. I have some connectors on this thing. I'll rob one and see if it's the same. Well, I may actually have some in a box over here. But I'll see if those plugs are the same, the jumpers. And if they are, we'll get those. The throttle position sensor, I may have to pull the throttle body off to get to it. I gotta get the right screws. Put the throttle position sensor on. We gotta do a fuel throttle cable. And I got to admit, I've misplaced the chase bays piece to replace this. I don't have a clue where I've put that thing. So I've got to hunt that and see where I've laid it, or I'm gonna have to order a new one, so that's a delay too. And the boots I ordered are the wrong boots. I've got to get another boot. I went 3" and this needs a 3.5, or maybe I went 3.5 and it needs like 3 3/4. I've got to get that. And whatever else, intercooler piping, finish that side, intake air temperature. But all right, that's one less thing. All right, here we go. All right, so the injectors are a brand called Hunter Tuned, Hunter, tuned, and they fit perfect. It came with a flow sheet. They were all numbered. Yeah, man, they're legit. So if you want to get with that guy, Hunter Tuned, I think it's huntertuned.com. I'll find the website and I'll post it up here. But I mean, they're legit. They plugged right in. The dude knew exactly what I was asking for and sent them, and they fit perfect. Hadn't hooked them up. I hadn't found the wiring stuff yet. I'm gonna dig that out in a minute and see if I can get the wires to plug in and all that. That's one less thing, but that's what I'm working on now. And I found the throttle position sensor. I'm gonna have to pull the throttle body back off to actually put it on and cut a piece. There's like a bolt sticking up right under the throttle body. You can see. So the throttle position sensor is right here. That's where it plugs in. And right under it is that bolt. So it literally is right underneath that thing. So that thing's gotta go. So I'll go ahead and pull the throttle body off at some point and cut that. I left my throttle position sensor wire hanging loose here. So it'll be ready to plug in. So yeah, that's another thing down. I do have to find one more screw. I robbed a screw out of another motor. I can't get to the bottom one, but I'll take some pieces off, but I got it. It's on the other motor. But I'll pull the throttle body off, cut that, put the other screw in, and one less thing. So, all right, here we go. All right, so I had these jumpers. This was for the factory 2JZ, I think it was the IS300 from this side, or no, it was this side, the IS300 to the injector dynamic plugs. Well, these actually, let me get the cam sensor out of the way. Come on, guy. All right. So we get this dude out of the way for a second. Okay. So you got this deal here, and this is the injectors that Hunter Tune sent me, and they plug in like so. Make sure you get them on there good. Then you take your factory plug and you just plug it into this side. If I can get it turned with one hand here. But that goes in there. And so that gives you that jumper, that adapter, to go from, because this was for a stock injector motor, and so it didn't have no kind of special ends. Good Lord, there it goes. And so I've got jumpers, we've got injectors. How about that? So that's how I got these dudes in there. Put the cam sensor back. And now we got injectors, boys. They're finished up. That's the end of the injector install. The rail's tight, the fuel's solid. Maybe adjust the regulator at some point. But the injectors are done. The part number on those is a IDX 90.3, I guess. And then maybe you can scan this code, I don't know. I don't know if that helps anybody or anything. There's the code. So, that's them bad boys. We in. All right, here we go. Oh, and while I'm at it, while I'm thinking about it, this fuel rail, put the top side that goes into the fuel rail, put it in first. It's so much harder to get, so like if you put the injectors in and then try to push the fuel rail down, it's so much harder to do it that way. Clip the injectors into the rail, push them up into the rail, and then once you set it, you'll be able to put the injectors down into the intake. It worked way better, a lot easier to do. So, yeah. It's just simpler, it simplified everything. And once you got them down in there, and these little bolts here, I don't know where the fuel rail actually hooks on, they actually come out and go down that way. So if that helps anybody, the actual bend goes back toward the motor on these, with these particular injectors. So All right, here we go.
I'm feeling high.